Hello everybody, I'm Gabrielle Vinet, host of Cultivating Innovation with Tetra, adaptive tools for the farm and kitchen. This podcast showcases customized solutions for overcoming barriers for people with disabilities. Each episode puts the spotlight on a real-life issue and follows how Tetra responded. Tetra has been building creative solutions and overcoming barriers for over 35 years. This podcast is a collaboration between Ingenium, Canada's Museums of Science and Innovation, the Disability Foundation in Vancouver, and the Tetra Society of North America. For today's episode, I'm joined by Dave Harshaw, the client for the Accessible Flower Box project with Tetra. The project consists of a regular outdoor flower box cut down to give Dave, a wheelchair user, access inside the box to garden. Thank you so much for joining me.
You're welcome.
So,
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so Dave, I just want to start off. So how did the idea of the accessible flower box sort of come around?
My sister is someone special. She's a year older than me. She thought I needed the kitchen island, and we went out and she designed the height that I wanted, and she just built it for me. She built it with a birdhouse on it, and I actually got a bird in it this year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so and I really do like it. I mean, I can now have flowers and people. I'm in an apartment building where I'm located. I'm the first one that you see when you drive in the driveway, so you see all of my stuff.
Mm.
And I've got stuff for different seasons, like summertime is the plants and the daisies and all that, which is really easy to take care of. You don't do
Yeah.
anything, just wait till they grow.
Okay. Yeah, so you said your sister sort of decided for you. Is that how you're gonna phrase it?
She asked me if I wanted it. I said I did want it. So we designed it, and she was really good. She built it all at home, and then
Okay.
she brought it over. It was a project originally, and we tried it to see if we could do others. And I really like mine's been there now for, I think, third year.
Oh, wow.
So now we're doing similar things for other people that may want that.
Mm-hmm.
And we can adjust the heights to whatever height you want.
Okay.
So
Nice. And how high is yours?
mine's only about a foot off the ground or a foot and a half. It's not very high. I didn't want it to be impeding what I could see when I looked outside.
Mm-hmm. Yes, for sure.
So it's not very high, but it's perfect because I don't have to do anything to reach it. I can reach it with no problems.
That's great. So you mentioned that you're doing the same thing for others. How many other flower boxes have you done?
We're working on we've got a request coming up for one right now, and we're gonna do another one, but they're all different because each person has different locations and heights and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
The lady just actually left 5 minutes ago. So I asked her to put in a request and see if we could do it. And then we go out and buy the lumber and we just build it all. I'm in Windsor, she's in Harrow, so I drive up to Harrow, and then we have a 3-car garage that we turned into a shop.
Oh, wow.
We just go in the shop and build whatever we want. I only had 3 volunteers in Windsor, and we pumped out a whole ton of stuff. Like we pumped out all kinds of projects. She's been really good about it. Come on, you got to make me a ramp. Okay. You got to make me a flower box. Okay. Let's make a kitchen island. Okay. And she's really been helpful, and she loves her brother. So she loves Tetra too. Like Tetra's just what she likes to help people. She drove bus for years for handicapped people, and we just like doing it.
That's nice. And how long ago did you turn your garage into sort of a shed or a place where you could build stuff?
2016.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So and that's her house. She's got a big country home. And when you go visit it, it's like going to a national park. It's just beautiful. And she's made her whole house accessible also.
Mm-hmm.
And so she made an accessible workshop.
Nice. That's great.
And of course, when I need her help, she just helps.
Mm-hmm.
Just says, okay, fine, she just helps. So it really does make my job easier because I just tell her what I want and she does it. And usually when she's done, it's not just done, it's wow, is that ever nice?
It goes above and beyond.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
does she do that for every other project, like not just for you?
For anything I ask her, she'll make it. She'll do it.
That's
Like she
great.
made me a ramp recently that had to be portable.
Okay.
And I was happy with the result. I said, oh, that's great. Okay, perfect. I can paint that. Oh no. No, we're gonna do it right here, right now. And you're gonna bring it home, done, and then you can go install it. And that's just the way she works. She's really compassionate.
She sounds awesome. I would love to meet her one day.
Yeah. She really is a good sister.
That's
My
great.
pain in the butt sister.
Well, they have to be. They can't just be all nice. So I'm guessing you sort of don't go through when you need something pretty much from your sister, you don't go through the Tetra program. So how pretty much is Tetra involved in the flower box?
Oh, is my volunteer, and we do go through the Tetra program.
Okay.
We do exactly the way we're supposed to do. Like I'll get the request, and then if Donna's in Windsor, she'll help me with the project. If she's not, then I'll go do the measurements, and I'll bring them to her, and then we'll complete it together, and then we'll go install it, whatever it happens to be. Like we
Okay.
made a lot of tables, like just add-on tables for wheelchairs, where they just drop into a hole, and there's your table. When you're done,
Okay.
you just lift it off, and stuff like that. I'll just give her measurements, and she'll actually make it.
Okay. So
Yeah.
how long have you two been involved with Tetra?
I started Tetra in 2014.
Wow.
So it's been a while, and I've known about Tetra before that. I knew the last coordinator before me. I was involved then. I was volunteering and helping whenever I could. And then it turns out that she passed away. So they offered the job to me. I took it and never looked back.
That's great.
I love it. I do love it.
That's great. How many projects have you done since?
Well, you'd have to ask me that.
About, just give me like an about number. How about that?
General, I've done probably 30.
Oh wow, that's nice.
Yeah, and if you're talking to go all the way back to 2016, I couldn't even tell you.
No.
But my goal was to do one a month, and that's pretty much where I'm at. And sometimes I do two. Like I've got more on the go right now than I can even handle.
Oh my God.
I've got 6 projects waiting for a volunteer, and I've got only one. Well, I've got 2 volunteers. So the one helps me with administrative stuff. Like she'll put in the forms for when the project is complete. She'll do all that for me.
Okay.
But for most of it, for now, we're having a really hard time in Windsor getting volunteers.
Okay.
And I've got one new volunteer, but he hasn't started doing anything at all yet. So I actually have 3 volunteers, and there's 2 that are active.
Okay. And I'm guessing the third one you can't delegate some of your projects because you said you're very busy.
Yeah, I can't delegate him to him because he hasn't started yet. He did get his police clearance.
Oh,
He is disabled also,
okay.
but I'm sure he'll come on. Like he's gonna have to eventually if he wants. If he wants to be a volunteer, he's gonna have to come here.
So just coming back to the flower box itself. So how has the fact that it's lower and it's more accessible to you changed the way you garden around your house?
Now I can have stuff. If I want to buy a plant, I can buy a plant and put it out there, and I don't need anyone to do it.
That's great.
I like this, and I can go out there and do it. That's
Okay.
what I like about it, and I enjoy it because I had a whole bunch of plants out there. And
Okay.
people were commenting on them. Wow, those are beautiful. And I made systems like I made my air conditioner water my plants. So plants really like air conditioner water. And
Mm-hmm.
so I made a device that I can just turn on, and it'll go drip, 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 and it'll water the plants. And the plants will grow like crazy.
Hmm.
So they're topping the railing, and they're going right up to almost up to the birdhouse. And I like it because a lot of people in here are older, and they all just think it's the most beautiful thing because they can see it all. They can look through the railing and see it all. It's all on the ground floor.
So has anybody in your building was sort of inspired by like what you're doing and how you organize everything and sort of done their own thing?
They did the whole property.
Really?
They did the whole property. It's an amazing property. There's plants everywhere. And to be honest, mine was just an add-on to what was already here.
That's
And
amazing.
that's what inspired me to do it, because I used to have plants that were just beautiful, and by the time the season ended, I'd have to bring them in. I didn't want to bring the plants in anymore. I wanted to have something that could just stay out there. And it just so happens that my planter, when you pull in the driveway, that's the first thing you see.
Wow, that's amazing.
So I made it all as nice as I could and take care of it as best I can. And it's got ornamental onions in it. It's got daisies in it. It's got pansies in it. And then people here just love it, and it's really not hard to do. It gives me something relaxing to do, which is most for me. I could use that sometimes.
Yeah, it's therapeutic at this point.
Oh yeah. But I mean, all is good, and I'm sure I've had another request, like I say earlier today, for another one, but they're all so different that I haven't been out there to measure yet, and I haven't even got the formal request yet, but I will. I'm sure it'll come, because that's what happens. Someone sees, wow, you can do that. Yeah, you can do anything if you really think about it.
Yeah, definitely.
And it looks way better than having pots. Like I used to have big pots, and the pots were a pain in the butt. I had to keep moving them, dragging them, and it was just a pain in the butt. They took up a lot of room on the balcony, and now this doesn't. It's probably maybe a foot and a half wide. So it doesn't take up much space at all.
Yeah, and you can go around it without knocking it over and all that.
But it's definitely not going to fall over.
So thank you so much for this. This was amazing. I just have one last thing to ask of you. Obviously, this podcast is going to be heard from people across Canada. Is there anything that you would like those people listening to sort of know or to learn from?
Well, I just want people to have an open mind. And if you want something, there's nothing that stops you. Just figure out what you want to do and go out there and do it. Whatever it takes. If you need help for the project, we'll do that. But there's nothing you can't do. You can do anything you set your mind to. And that's been my motto in life. And that's why I've done so much.
That's great. Well, thank you so much, Dave. This was amazing. And again, thank you for joining me and to be open to talk about this.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to Cultivating Innovation with Tetra, adaptive tools for the farm and kitchen, with me, Gabrielle Vinette. If you're interested in learning more about us, check out tetranation.org. To find out more about Ingenium, Canada's Museums of Science and Innovation, you can visit their Facebook page at Ingenium, Twitter at IngeniumCA, and Instagram at Ingenium Canada. That's all for this episode. See you next time.